Hello and welcome to Connect. I'm your host, Randy Shabilo. On today's show, we'll have Scott Engele with Sherwood RV, as well as Robin Campesi with SAS Parks. And as always, we'd like to connect with you.
Follow us on Facebook to watch new and past interviews or email us at connectyxe@gmail.com.
Summer is coming, and along with that comes camping season and RVs. And we have Scott Engele with Sherwood RV here today just to give us a little bit of insight into what's happening in that market and that industry. Scott, thanks for taking a break and joining us today.
Randy, thank you very much for the invite. Always look forward to chatting with you. We've had some good chats in the past, and yeah, the RV industry is quite exciting. I mean, it always has been, but the last year or so with COVID-19 upon us, people are looking at ways to hang out together in their bubble, and their bubble could be their RV.
You've been doing this for a while now. What have you been seeing in the past year, I guess? Has it been a bit of a pressure kind of a cooker where you have the factories trying to keep up and the demand now with some of the restrictions in place, the uptake and interest based on the campgrounds and bookings, and the number just driving and seeing them every day seems to be higher.
Yes, this time around, I think we're lucky to be in Saskatchewan because we do have 100,000 lakes. We do have a lot of campgrounds. We have a lot of fields. We have a lot of rural folks that can maybe with rural roots that can go home and camp at grandma and grandpa's on the farm. So I think we're lucky here. Yes, it's been busier, but there seems to be some good places to go in Saskatchewan. We have a lot of out of province customers too, though, and I know that some of our neighboring provinces are pretty fortunate, but I think Saskatchewan still has a great number of campsites, so we're able to get people into rigs, and they're finding their spots to camp.
I think that's an interesting segue into, I guess, seeing what our province has to offer. Not many of us have been to every corner and traveled abroad, but to kind of uncover some of those hidden nuggets and local gems around the province and even at some family farms and other cities. Uh, you have there's the RV component of Sherwood, but there's also the vehicle sales. Are you seeing something with uh, campers and vehicles getting sold together or trying to match those up as a pair type of thing?
Yes, we always get clients that come in and they have one or the other in mind, and then they put two and two together quickly because we're next door neighbors, RV and Chevy. And yeah, we've put a lot of units on the road as pairs. But also, the other thing we've been able to do is take RVs in on trade on vehicles too. We've had situations where an RV is not going to be used anymore. They're done camping, maybe due to health or age or something like that. And we take a unit in on trade and turn it into a new car. So that works too.
When you have some of the features that, we haven't been able to see a lot of the indoor sales at Prairie Land like we have in years past with the restrictions and people going in and out of some of these units. Can you describe, I guess, what some of the features are? I know we've seen some fireplace type features and stoves and fridges and microwaves. What's on the market? What's hot and what's not right now?
Well, that's a great question because it's always changing with the way that electronics keep evolving. But you've got Bluetooth stereos and televisions and smart TVs, and you've got not just a regular microwave, but maybe a convection oven microwave. Some of the stove tops, even though they're a nice propane stove top, they're lit up. The buttons look good. They're all lit up and pleasing to the eye. The furniture is amazing. I mean, it's as nice as what you might have at home, from massage seats, heated seats, center console, theater seating. Uh, you've got hookups for USB and charging stations right in the furniture. Mattresses, again, they go to Serta mattresses, and You can get heated blankets. I mean, Randy, once you get in one of these, you're going to be very, very comfy.
What type of requirement would you have? I guess maybe start with the smallest sizes in terms of vehicles that are required to tow some of the single axle type trailers you have.
Well, that's something that we take very seriously all the time, and we want to educate our customers on what they can tow safely. Because just because there might be a statistic or a spec or a sticker on a vehicle that says you can tow this much, it doesn't mean that that's the best thing to do. So we always look at making sure that the smaller SUVs that can tow, say, 3,500 pounds, you want to have something uh, considerably lighter than that, and not that you're going to put a bunch of contents in it. Like, you're never going to put in 500 pounds of stuff. You just won't. And you're not going to haul water very often, things like that. You'll get water when you get there. But we always make sure that people have a safe matchup in terms of towing and capability and safety. A lot of that safety can be in the hookup too, with these equalizer hitches and stabilizing hitches. So it keeps a trailer nice and level. Doesn't have it dipping down or anything like that. Great mirrors and stuff like that is important too. But we go right from small SUVs to right up to 1-ton dualies, that can pull big fifth wheels. So, and then the motorized is a whole other thing with the motorhomes, right?
You mentioned some of the electronics. It just occurred to me, would there be a future or an eye for electric vehicles to be towing or electric powered RVs? Is that on the drawing board?
Well, right now in RVs, there's lots of solar technology that's available, and you'll see on some of our rigs that we've sold, they'll have a solar panel up top. So a lot of people think it more green. And as those items become more affordable and they work better than ever before, they're a little more acceptive into the market. As far as electric vehicles towing, as they evolve, yes, for sure they'll tow. But right now in the vehicles that we have, they're a little smaller, like the Bolt, and the range isn't there. Like, they're more of a commuter car. So if you're going to want to drive from here to Candle Lake, you wouldn't have enough range to tow. So that'll have to continue to evolve there.
Tell us a little bit about what happens if you get a campsite, or is there an option to maybe buy or lease a site and then just tow your trailer and leave it there in place of a cabin? Do you see that?
We see that quite a bit, and there's a lot of great seasonal sites available throughout the province. And a lot of people might have that smaller car or SUV or something that they just aren't going to tow, but they want to get a place at the lake, so they'll rent a seasonal site. We'll get a fifth wheel or a travel trailer, and we'll haul it up there, set it up, and then they're there for the year. I mean, our list of deliveries coming up in the next 3 or 4 weeks is quite a few great little spots we'll go to and put that seasonal camper on there, and then people might run them back with their small car or SUV, and it's a great thing. So it is their cabin at the lake, but they didn't have to get it there.
Well, it's an interesting question that if I didn't want to uh, tow an RV, or pardon me, a trailer, camper trailer back and forth, and purchase one, is there an option to rent it for short term or maybe a month or the season?
Yes, we have a great rental fleet. We have some Class C motorhomes, so they're easy to use and drive. They're only 25 feet long, but they have a generator on board, and a Class 5 driver's license qualifies you to drive one. They're quite easy to drive, really. So we rent those. Those go on some longer trips. We've had some people go like quite a distance in them, all the way to Montreal and back to visit a 90-year-old grandmother recently. That was a good trip for some folks. But also, you can rent just travel trailers. And if you don't have something to tow them with the rentals, we can tow it to, say, Pike Lake or Candle Lake and set it up for you, and you can enjoy it for a couple of weeks. And when you're done with it, we'll go and pick it up and bring it back.
I think that's a very neat feature. It's something to be said about. I don't need the camper; I need the experience. So that option is there for those that want to do that as well. Are there opportunities for people to use these trailers if I wanted to snowmobile in the winter time and maybe take advantage of late fall hunting season or springtime? Are the campers suited for 4 seasons or mostly 2 and 3 season type installation?
Yeah, mostly 2 or 3 seasons for most RVs. I mean, they do make 4 season RVs, and we've had them. I just set one up actually yesterday at Gordon Howe Park for a client, and there's no water running there yet, but they still have a full tank of water, which we set it up with, and they'll have septic service and stuff. So that customer is already at Gordon Howe Park, middle of April here, or third week in April. Um, and then further on, we do some spring and fall rentals as well, and people do use their trailers at different times of the year. So if it's not 100% for season, you just have to make sure that you're not going to freeze anything up. So you might dry camp, which means you might just haul your water and be very careful of your wastewater.
So what happens then if I do have damage as a result of freezing and so on? Are you equipped to either go out and service that, or would I have to bring the unit directly there? You have that capacity.
Most of the time, the units that we service are brought to us. We work on them in our own shop here. There is some mobile RV techs in our industry in our area, and with certain warranties and insurance coverages, customers have that type of coverage. So if you are at that seasonal site, like we mentioned earlier, or what you're talking about now, they can either pay for the service or their insurance or warranty may pay for the service for them, and they can have a mobile certified RV tech out their way.
And I guess our last question to kind of wrap up with the upcoming 2021 season. Are you able to meet demand? Are the factories keeping up with that demand with the restrictions that they have on their end as well?
Well, that's a great question, Randy, because in the car industry too, in many industries around, I mean, you've probably been out trying to buy different things, whether it be at a lumber yard or an appliance or furniture place. Well, in the car industry and in the RV industry, it's similar. We have to be patient for inventory to come in. We have been getting our share. I'm happy about that. We placed our orders early. We made sure that we were ready for the year. We always plan ahead, but some things have come up that were out of anybody's control. So some manufacturers might be short on appliances or things of that nature that are supplied to them. So their suppliers are struggling to keep up demands with the manufacturers, and it's similar in the car industry as well.
Well, I think 21 will be an interesting year. I want to thank you for taking some time and sharing that with us. Best of luck to you and Sherwood this coming season. We'll maybe see you on the road.
You betcha, and thank you very much, Randy, and have a great summer and stay safe.
Will do. Stay with us, folks. We're coming right back.